Hello, everyone. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us today. We are in the second student masterclass, which is around developing GenAI apps with Gemini and Streamlit. I'm Uzma, and I'll be your host for today. I'll just take you all through the program overview quickly before we start with the masterclass. So I believe that you already know that the GenAI Academy is the first phase of the GenAI Exchange program. And this program is divided into three parts. The first of which is the GenAI Exchange Academy. Then there's the boot camp, and we have a hackathon which will launch later on. And this entire program is specifically designed to upskill the Indian developers when it comes to AI through comprehensive learning resources, hands-on projects, and expert guidance. And post July, we'll be starting with the hackathon. But as of now, the goal is to upskill all the developers, whether they are students or professional developers. This particular masterclass is specifically for students. Um, we have, launched this program. Maybe not even a month has gone, and we already have over 210,000 developers. They have signed up for the program and initiated their AI learning journey. And this overwhelming response from the entire Indian developer community is truly inspiring, and it speaks volumes about your eagerness to dive into the world of generative AI. So, under this Generative AI Academy, you get access to 5 AI courses on the Skill Boost platform. So normally, if you want to do these courses, you have to buy credits, and then you get access to these courses. But as part of this program, you are getting these courses for free, these credits for free, and you can take these 5 courses for free. Now, one thing that you have to make sure is that you have to submit your Skill Boost public profile. After that, only will the entire process be initiated. And some people have been submitting links that are private, and unfortunately, we won't be able to give credits in that case. So please make sure that your Skill Boost profile is public. Now, one very important thing here is that there are 2 courses which you can take without any credits. Like, you don't need any points or any credits to take those 2 courses. So when it comes to those courses, if you want the initial 100 points, what you have to do is you have to submit your Skill Boost profile, and you have to take these 2 courses, submit those skill badges, and only then will we be able to give you the credits. So this is a slight difference in the point system as it was before. But now it's really important for you to do these 2 courses, which is the Prompt Design in Vertex AI course and the Build Real World Applications Using Gemini and Imagine course. So once you submit these 2 skill badges, in the skill badge and skill boost submission tab, we will verify that, and then we'll be able to give you the credits. Sorry. Now, one thing here is the GenAI Academy as a whole. There are a few things that you can take away from it, and these are really great takeaways. So the first and the most important thing that you're getting is that you are getting access to these 5 free courses. You are getting badges and completion certificates. So you can earn these certificates and skill badges when you complete each course. Then you can all, since you're learning these courses and since you have access to these master classes, you are learning from the best in the industry. We have these experts who have all the insights about the latest AI advancements and best practices. So you're getting access to these workshops, master classes, these courses, all of that. And the third thing is there's a leaderboard, right? And this leaderboard gives you access to exclusive opportunities. So if you are up high in this leaderboard, then you get access to a lot of in-person events, merchandise, and so much more. How do you get to this leaderboard? How do you make it to the top is something I'll take you through now. So this is the point system. Okay, we have gamified the entire process, and this is how you get points. There are 5 courses, right? So for every course that you complete, you get 100 points. The 2 courses that you don't need any credits for, you can take those also, and you will get 100 points each for them once you submit the skill batch to us. Then the masterclass. This masterclass, for example, if you're attending this live, you get 20 points. But if you attend a recorded masterclass, so if you are not able to attend this live and you're watching a recording later on, then you get 10 points still. After that, there are two more options for you to take points, which is you can post a blog on Medium. This will give you 30 points. And if you post your skill badges on LinkedIn, that will give you 10 points. So that is how the point system works. And for you to get all these points, one step is very crucial, and that is that you submit links to the dashboard. Now, I'll quickly take you through the dashboard also so that you have some clarity regarding that. Just a second. So if you have already registered for the program, then you have access to this dashboard. I hope you can see my screen. Yes, you can. Great. So this is the dashboard. This is what it looks like. This is the roadmap. Here you can see the whatever the phase is that you are in. So I have registered, for example. Now, what are the next steps that I have to do? I have to submit my Skill Boost public profile. After submitting that, you can get access to these courses. You have to take these two free courses, after which you'll get those skill badges. Now, for every skill badge, this is the tab that you have to go through. It's called the Skill Boost and Skill Badge Submission tab. You have to go here, and then you have to submit your. This is the public profile link. Here you have to submit your skill badge. It's very easy. It's a form. It's a simple form. You just have to fill the link and hit submit. The same is for all the courses. So these two courses are something that you can get started with. So you have to just simply submit your skill badge. So this is one tab that you have access to. The next thing, like if you remember the points that I mentioned, there were two more points about the Medium article and a social media post. So here is how you can submit that under the social media submission tab. Then you get several points for that. You get 40 points in total. There's a LinkedIn link for the skill badges that you post on LinkedIn, and there's a Medium blog post link for the blog that you post on Medium. Now, like I mentioned, that there's a leaderboard as well. And how do you get access to the leaderboard? How can you see where you stand in the leaderboard? It's right here under the breakout zone. It's the leaderboard. So I'm not sure why this is not working. I am not sure why this is not working. Let me just refresh. Okay. Just a second. In any case, if it's not visible now, you'll be able to see it still when you refresh. So the leaderboard, you can see that there are top 5, top 10, and you can also see how many points they have. So you can see how much you have left to reach to that top spot at the leaderboard. So yeah, that's where you can see the leaderboard as well. Now, so that was all for the point system. I hope that was clear. Now we'll move on to the masterclass. This is, like I said, this is the second student masterclass, and we have with us Harshitani, who's the program manager at Google. He'll be taking us through developing GenAI apps with Gemini and Streamlit. So Harsh, thank you for being here. Welcome here, Harsh.
Yes.
Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the second masterclass. Today we are going to learn two things. First is I'll show you a demonstration of how Vertex AI console looks like, because that was discussed in last masterclass as well, and there were a few queries where a few of you wanted to learn how Vertex AI console looks like and how you can use Vertex AI in Google Cloud, right? Because you will be learning and building few projects using that. And after that, we'll move to the skill boost, where I will show you a lab where we can learn how we can build GenAI applications using Gemini and Streamlit. So we will get uh, Gemini APIs. I'll also show you how we can generate Gemini APIs as well. All of these things are there in the skill boost lab. You just have to read the steps and follow it one by one, right? So let's settle down. If there are any credit related queries, please post it to the support. Back to back messages in the chat may not help solve it immediately, right? So let's limit your queries to the technical aspect of the workshop, and if there are any credit related things or point or structure related things, please use the tech to skill support channel available, right? So let's limit here to technical queries related to workshop. So are you all ready? Give me a thumbs up if you are ready. If you are ready, just give me a thumbs up. I see people are more excited for credits than learning. So please utilize this time for learning. Your credits and points related queries will be answered. Right? Someone said Sprite. Yes, I asked for thumbs up. You said Sprite. Okay. Good joke. Okay. So now I'll show you how Cloud Console looks like. So is my screen visible? I'll just uh 1 second. Is my screen visible? I've shared my screen. Mm, 1 second. My screen, yes, this is how our Cloud Console looks like, right? And since last masterclass, I got many queries on, can you please show us how Google Cloud Console looks like? What are the various elements in Google Cloud Console? How we can access Vertex AI, right? So are you all ready? Yes. So if you open Google Cloud free trial account in Google Cloud, or if you are already using Google Cloud, once you access the console, your screen should look similar to this. Over here, there are multiple things. Project ID is there. Don't worry, I'll delete all these things immediately after the session, so you won't be able to access my project. If you think you are smart enough to access it, I'll delete it immediately. Right. So these are the project details you can see on the screen. And on the left hand side, if you see, here are various controls, right? And in on the left hand side menu, you can see various services available in Google Cloud. Starting on the top, there are few recently visited services that I visited. Then there are few pinned products. You might, based on your usage, you might see this pinned products, or you'll see all the services as well, right? So on bottom of the screen, there's an option called view all products. So if you click over there, if you click on view all products, here are all the services, all the products available in Google Cloud, starting from management to compute. So management has all the backend related services, all the account management related services that you can do it from your Cloud Console backend. You can turn off and on the APIs and services. If you want to control your billing, you can do it from Cloud Billing as well. If you want to control your account management thing, if you want to create few service account, or let's say if you want to share a project with another user with just view access, you can use IAM, Identity Access Management. So itself is a very in-depth topic, IAM and admin. I want all of you to read about IAM if you really want to be a good AI or cloud engineer. So IAM is a very important area to learn if you want to work with cloud, right? Now, second is compute. In compute, there are also various services like compute engine, Kubernetes engine, VMware. So all these things we will cover in future sessions if those sessions are planned. But compute gives you a suite of virtual machines similar to your Linux system which you operate on your laptop. You can run a virtual machine. I'm sure most of you are aware about VM, right? So how many of you are aware about VM? Lab started. Lab we will start after 5 to 10 minutes. Lab you can start. I just want to ensure first your basics are clear. Yes. So many of you are aware about VMs, right? Virtual machines. So you can create a virtual machine inside Google Cloud using Cloud Compute, right? Then there are few storage related services, cloud storage, file store. Then there is Firestore as well. Then analytics related services are there. Let's say BigQuery, PubSub. So PubSub is like real time messaging services. If you want to send a real time notification or messages, let's say if you, I'll give you an example. If you want to connect it to IoT device, and IoT device wants to ping you to your server in a real time basis, you can use PubSub, right? Yes, someone has replied a good answer over there. VM is a virtual machine which is isolated machine inside a main machine. Concept wise, it's good answer. So virtual machine helps you virtually separate your environment from the hardware as well. So it will install a virtual operating system inside your existing hardware, right? So that anything that you do in your virtual machine, your hardware stays unimpacted, right? Correct. So now these are the all products. You can explore it one by one. Now we'll quickly move to the Vertex AI piece. So on the top, just search Vertex AI. If you are in the cloud console right now, you can search along with me. Just search Vertex AI. You'll see a page like this, right? So Vertex AI, you'll see a page like this, a Vertex AI which has various service called Vertex AI Studio, where you can prompt, test, and generate all your generative AI models like Gemini. There is a service called Model Garden where you can use or customize models available from Google or any other open source models as well, right? So this is how a Vertex AI console looks like. So on the left hand side, if you see, there are various options, but inside Vertex AI Studio, it says create prompt Media Studio. So in Media Studio, you can generate image, audio, music, or video. So if you are working on an application which requires you to generate a image using Image Gen 3, or if you are working on an application which requires you to generate a video using VO2, you can use Vertex AI VO2's API to generate those videos, right? And you might need to do some prompt engineering piece, so which you can perform in the Media Studio as well, right? Over here. Then there is prompt gallery as well. So if you want to learn how prompt engineering works, what are the various kind of prompts, you can explore prompt engineering, various type of prompts from the prompt gallery on the left hand side, right? And let's go to our first option which says create prompt. So this is how our uh, control create prompt, this is how our control panel looks like. One second, create prompt, this is how our control panel looks like in Vertex AI Studio, where we can write few prompts, we can see their output as well. Based on our need, we can modify models. From the right hand side, if you see, there's an option to change to a model. Currently we are using Gemini 2.0 Flash, which is best used for multimodal understanding, long context, right? And which can process up to 10,000 lines of code as well. And latency, it's very fast. So you can switch models over here. There are multiple. So as in today's workshop, we are going to learn how to build apps using Gemini and Streamlit. So first thing we need to learn is what are the various types of model available in Gemini, right? So that's why I'm showing you all these things, so that you know what are the various types of models available in Gemini. Are you all following? Give me thumbs up. Are you all following this? Yes? No? Okay, okay, good, good. I assume you are following this. If you are in the Google Cloud Console, do follow my steps. There's someone mentioning no, I can understand. Maybe you can rewatch the video. If you still have any queries or not able to understand, please reach out to us. We are there to help you. Right. So this is on the right hand side. There are various on the right hand side. You can switch between various models available. So over here, you can see there are 4 Gemini models over here. Gemini 2.0 Flash, as I told, it's best used for multimodal understanding and also used for long context as well, right? And it can also help us process up to 10,000 lines of code. Then this Gemini 2.5 2.5, which is currently in a preview mode, so which also helps you with coding, reasoning, more complex tasks as well, that you want to do more complex problem solving. And also you can control how many tokens this model can use while performing the task, right? So this is our prompt studio. Here we can write prompts and we can get our answers, right? So let's write one prompt over here. Let's write one prompt. Can someone suggest, let's say if we are building a travel application, what kind of prompt we want? Imagine a user is communicating with your travel application. What kind of prompt a user will write? If you are building a travel support system in your travel application, what kind of prompt user will write? Just give me few ideas of what kind of prompt a user may write. Any idea? Okay, is there available tickets, train services, best way to go from Delhi to Mumbai? Nice. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this prompt. It's a really good prompt. Best way to go from Delhi to Mumbai. Let's assume we are building a chat bot in our travel application. And let's see, let's run this prompt and let's see what our response we get. I need to enable billing in my account. Give me a second. Right. So as I told, on the left and right hand side, we have our model selected, and over here I'll run a query. It says billing to be enabled. Yes. So there's some billing related. One second. Yes, this should solve. Right. So I passed a prompt which says best way to reach from Mumbai to Delhi. And I let's assume you are building your travel related application. Right. Let's assume you are building your travel related application and user is coming and interacting with your chatbot. So in Vertex AI, you can do those prompt engineering. So over here, I passed one simple prompt, which prompt is best way to reach from Mumbai to Delhi. And I got answers like the fastest route is by flight, by train, which is budget friendly, also comfortable, by bus as well, right, which can be more economical, but distance wise, it's not slightly comfortable, by car, which is more flexible, right? So this gave us all a very, very brief answer, which explained all the things, compared all the things. And we used Gemini 2.0 Flash model over here. So now, is this all clear? Is this all clear? There's someone is saying why I am unprepared. I'm not unprepared. By mistake, I selected wrong project ID. Let's give me a error for the billing account. Right. So let's see. Let's imagine we are building a travel application where we are interacting with our chatbot, where we are asking a question, best way to reach from Mumbai to Delhi. Now our system replied, our model replied us with multiple answers, where best way to go by flight, best way to go by train, best way to go by bus as well. Right. Now let's imagine if a user comes and asks any food related queries. Right, do we need to respond to food related queries, or let's assume if user comes and asks about cricket, so do we need to respond with cricket related questions? So do we need to respond for cricket related questions? No, right? Right, few of you are saying no. Yes, if it's linked to travel, we can. But let's assume if someone asks Bollywood related questions or music related questions or some movies related questions, we don't need to answer it, right? So that's, yes, someone wrote it's beyond the scope, IPL related question. So how we can control it? So on the top there is an option called system instructions, right? So using system instructions, we can give our model a context. We can tell our model which area, which we can define a role for our model, and clearly tell our model that you don't need to respond anything which is non-travel related, or don't respond movies related queries. So let's do one thing. Let's mention over here, don't respond movies related question, right? So now if a user asks anything related to movies, our model will politely decline it, right? So this is our fundamental step in doing prompt engineering. Using system instructions is a fundamental step in prompt engineering, where we need to define scope of our model, scope of our application. We can give a name to our model as well. Let's say we can tell him that, tell our model that you are Jack and a travel travel advisor, right? You are Jack and a travel advisor. Hope my screen is visible. I'm zooming it a little, right? So let's say you I'm giving my name to my model. You are Jack and a travel advisor. Don't respond movies related question. That's very generic statement I've given. So what if someone asks anything related to song? What if someone asks anything related to IPL match? It may still respond, right? Because I'm just telling it don't respond movies related questions, right? So what we have to do over here is we can tell don't respond to any non-travel related queries, right? We can define system instructions in a way where we can define scope of our bot. Yes, there may be a case where a user is traveling to watch a movie, right? There may be a case where user is traveling to watch a cricket match. So that's where you need to be more precise in passing the system instructions, right? So imagine a similar use case. Imagine a food related application. If users, if a your food, if you are building a food related application and user asks questions about movies, or users ask questions about cricket match in your food related application, your bot should not respond. So that's where system instructions plays a very important role, right? So over here, let me rerun our prompt. I'm just writing hello over here, and let's see the response, right? See, I just wrote hello, and now it's picking the role or the scope which is defined in system instructions, right? How can I help you with your next adventure today? So now see, this things helps us define a scope for our application. Now my application knows that it's part of a travel advisory application, right? So there is someone asking, is there any issue if we don't limit the scope? Yes, there can be an issue. See, you don't know how your user will interact with your model, right? So it's always advisable to use the scope while you are building your application using Gemini, right? So that's all I wanted to show from the Vertex AI front. So now let's move to our lab for the day, right? So I hope you all have the link for the lab which we are going to perform, right? This is our lab. uh, uh, 1 second. Yes, so this is, I hope my screen is visible. Yes, yes, yes. So this is the lab which we are going to perform today. So I'll give you a walkthrough of what this entire course looks like. So name of this course is Develop GenAI Apps with Gemini and Streamlit. So I assume all of you are on this link. Just write yes or no, thumbs up, so that I know that you are on all these links. Are you all on this link? Yes, few of you are telling yes. Okay. So for those who are not using this link currently or not having this link open right now, maybe you can rewatch this video. And today we are going to learn how to get started with Gemini API and Vertex AI, right? And how you can use those to build your GenAI applications, right? So I already gave you an idea of how Vertex AI looks like. I gave you an idea of various kinds of Gemini models available, right? So that's why we did a first half. We talked about Vertex AI. We also checked how what kind of various Gemini models are available, right? So I want you, all of you, to visit this course. And when you visit it, if you see, there are four different labs, in fact 5 different labs available. So first lab is getting started with Vertex AI API, Gemini API in Vertex AI with curl, right? So how many of you are aware about curl? If not, just right click over here. See, if you don't know what is thing, you just need to use few tools, search engine, to learn and understand. If you are not aware about the curl, just right click over here, click search with Google, right? So these things help us. Sometimes we get, so as a students, we get confused with many terminologies. So use search engine, ask questions to Gemini, ask questions, try to learn few things on your own as well, right? I assume most of you are aware about it, right? So over here, so in this lab there are 5 labs. So first one is we'll be using Gemini API and Vertex AI. So if you scroll over here, don't click start now, don't click start now, I'll give you a walkthrough, right? I'll give you a walkthrough, and after that I'll give you a walkthrough of all the labs. After that, you can start your lab one by one and complete this entire course. Because if you are not able to complete it in designated time, so each lab has their own time. This lab has its 45 minutes, few of them might have 1 hour. So if you are not able to complete it, you can always redo it as well. But make sure you, whenever you start, you are free for full 45 minutes to 1 hour to ensure you are completing the full lab, right? So lab link is already posted over here. So if you're not open this link, I'll give you a minute to, I want all of you to open this link. So this question where, sir, can you tell me where is option of build to code is? Okay, it's in Vertex AI. Maybe towards the end, if we have time, I'll show you what build to code is in Vertex AI. Right. So there was one question around what is CURL, which it stands for client URL. It stands for client URL, and it is a command line tool that's used to transfer data uh, from between server and a node, or between two servers, right? So it says its full form is client URL, right? So once you are here, don't click on start lab now. Don't click on start lab now. I'll show you. So first we'll see what are the objectives of each of these labs. So first lab, what we are going to learn is we are going to learn how we can use Gemini API in Vertex AI. We'll also use Gemini 2.0 Flash to generate text, images, and videos. So I showed you in Vertex AI tool, before this lab, I showed you we can generate text, images, videos. So that was the reason to show you the interface of Vertex AI. But imagine if you are building an application and you want to generate those text, images, and videos using a API of Vertex AI, right? How you can do is using this lab, you can learn those things, right? So before we begin, I'll show you how basic quick lab works. Is on the left hand side, you can see your entire course. Over here there's a start lab button. Once you start it, you'll get a temporary username password to log in. You can use those username and password in incognito mode to log in into your cloud console. After you log in, you just have to follow all the steps one by one mentioned over here. So in this lab, we are going to use Vertex AI Workbench, right, and Jupyter Lab Notebook as well. So I believe most of you have used Jupyter Lab notebooks, Python notebooks, right, collabs during your learning or development journey as well, right? So we are going to use a notebook over here, Python 3 based notebook, where we have all the code written. What we are going to do is we are going to read through, you need to read through that entire code. You need to understand how Gemini 2.0 Flash is consumed, is called, how that API is called, how we can generate text to text prompt, how we can generate text to image responses, what are multimodal inputs, right? How you can generate image from a text as well, or how you can generate text from a video file as well. So this lab teaches you all about generating text from video, text from images, or text to text prompt, right? So whenever you have full 45 minutes, please click on the start lab and start performing the uh, workshop, right? My screen visible? Yes. So now we'll see what is our second lab is. Let's assume you want to do some function calling using Gemini, right? So let's first understand what is function calling, right? So function calling, it's written over here as well. I'll just read and explain you. Function calling lets developer create a description of a function in that call, in their code, and then pass the description to a language model in a request. So let's assume you get a response from Gemini, and based on that response, you want to call a particular function, right? And the function name and everything is passed as a argument in that call, right? So let's I'll give you a simple example. You are building a IoT device, and you get a response about a temperature from your LLM model, and based on temperature, you want to call a particular function, right? And that function does some additional task for you. That's how function calling works. So you can learn function calling using Gemini in this lab. So this lab, same thing, we are going to use Jupyter Notebook on Vertex AI Workbench, right? Over here. So same thing, you just need to click on the start lab. Remember, when do it only when you have full 1 hour to do it, right? And if you are facing any credit related issues, points related issues, please reach out to Hack to Skill over the support, and they'll be able to help you, right? So in this lab, we are going to use Vertex AI Workbench. So that's why I gave you a demonstration of Vertex AI. Now you need to use Vertex AI Workbench, and there will be a Jupyter Lab notebook already created. Once you click on Start Lab, just follow the code, just read the code, try to understand how function calling works, right? What are the various use cases of function calling, how you can use function calling to call a geocode address with Google Maps API as well, right? So that's, this lab will teach you function calling using Gemini. Are you all following? All clear for now? Yes. Yes. So walkthrough, I gave you a walkthrough of second lab. First lab is how we can call Gemini API to do text to text, to do image to text, video to text based prompt. Second lab is function calling using Gemini, right? Now third lab is if you want to use a Python SDK, or if you want to use a Vertex AI SDK in Python, right? Which a Vertex AI SDK is also available in a Python. Let's say you know how Python works and you want to build a GenAI application in Python. How you can use Vertex AI and Gemini APIs to build a simple Python application. So this lab teaches you same thing which we learned in our client URL application, but focused on Vertex AI SDK in Python, right? So you can explore the same labs as well. Then there are two special tasks over here. How you can utilize Streamlit framework with Google Cloud and Gemini APIs. These are the two advanced labs. If you follow all these three steps, I believe you should be able to perform or build a sample application mentioned over here. So again, it has all the steps, nothing to worry about. You just need to read the steps, understanding, see all command git clone command is also given there. You will be using a Streamlit Cloud Run application already developed. What you need to do is you need to read, understand it, mention your Google Cloud project ID, that which you'll get after login in and using the temporary username and password. So this is all about our today's course, which I walked you through this today's course, where we are where we are building generative AI apps using Gemini and Streamlit, right? There's a question where can you please do a lab in short to explain how it will function on cloud? Okay, no problem. Just give me a second. I'll rejoin and show you how we can run a lab. One second. I'll show you a lab as well. Give me a second. I'll show you how you can start your lab. Okay, now I'm back. So over here, I'll show you how. Let's assume we are building this first lab, which says getting started with Gemini API in Vertex AI with client URL, right? So as I showed you, you just need to click on Start Lab, right? So lab link is already communicated by hack to skill. You should be able to get the lab link as well. If there are credit related questions, please reach out to the support. So click on Start Lab. It will generate a temporary username password for you, right? So this is where you'll get a temporary username password. This is how you'll get a temporary username password. Click on open Google Cloud Console, but remember to use it in an incognito mode. So once you open it in an incognito mode, you'll get access. See, can you see my screen? It's visible. I'm using a temporary username password in incognito, right? So just click on Start Lab. Once you click on Start Lab, you'll get your username password like this. Over here, open Google Cloud Console, just right click and open link in incognito mode, right? Don't open in your regular browser, otherwise you won't be able to access the temporary account created. Make sure you open it in a incognito mode. And once you open this, your temporary account will be created. It will ask you to go through the terms. And once you open it, you'll see your Google Cloud Console as I'm showing it to you. All good? Are you all able to see it? Now, I hope this solves your query on how to start lab and how to access using temporary username password, right? So this is our cloud console, right? Make sure you don't deviate from the steps in this lab. If you deviate from the steps, your temporary account will be blocked, and there is a risk that your skill boost account may also get blocked. So only follow steps mentioned in the code lab, right? So if you see over here, so first step one is open notebook in Vertex AI Workbench, right? So it says in the Google Cloud Console, in the navigation menu, go to Vertex AI and Workbench, right? So I'll quickly show you how that works is over here. This is the navigation menu, which I showed you in the beginning of the workshop. That was the reason to show you the entire console, right? So here it asks us to go to Workbench. So you can follow the steps mentioned over here. So step is in Vertex AI, click on Workbench. Once you open the Workbench, you will see your Vertex AI Jupyter Lab instance ready to use, right? So here is Vertex AI Jupyter Lab instance. Click on Jupyter Lab and you'll see the entire notebook ready. just need to read and understand the code, follow all the steps one by one, right? So as an instructor, it's not possible for me to do all the steps in 40 minutes or in 1 hour, but this is how you can start your lab. You will get a temporary username password. Most important thing is right click and open link in incognito mode. Just follow steps one by one. After you complete certain steps, there is a option to check your progress. Make sure you are able to complete entire lab. You are able to check all your progresses. After you complete all the progresses, your course will be completed, your particular lab will be completed, and after you complete all 5 labs, your course Develop GenAI Apps with Gemini and Streamlit will be completed, right? I hope this was helpful. If there are any credit or points related questions, please reach out to Hack2 Skill support. Email ID is provided on the chat. If you can see GenAI Exchange support at the hack2skill.com, please reach out to support and team should be able to help you with the queries, right? Okay, any queries, we can take it up. If there are any technical related queries, I can help. I may not be able to help you with credits and point related queries. There is a question where says since the course is based out of credits. So, okay, so if there are any, sorry, if there are any credit related queries, won't be able to answer it. Let me go through the queries. Okay, so install Python SDK, use Gemini API in Vertex AI to interact with each model, and how to do that. So if you follow the steps in this first lab, it shows you how you can install the Vertex AI SDK as well, how you can install the Python libraries, Google Generative AI Python libraries as well. Just follow the steps in this workshop. It has a code where we can pip install the library and how you can call that SDK in your Python program as well. Just follow the steps in the first lab. There is one question which says, uh, what is the difference between uh, various Gemini tools? Okay, so now there as you see, I'll show you. I'll again show you the Vertex AI platform. Give me a second. So if you, I'll again show you how Vertex AI platform looks like. So over here, if you want to understand difference between various models, just click on switch models and you'll see all the various type of models like Gemini 2.0 Flash, 2.0 Flash Lite, uh, Flash 2.5 Flash, which is in preview mode. You can also see various other old models as well, like 1.5 Flash, Gemini 1.5 Pro. Yes, there are third party models also available, industry models also available, which you can use in Vertex AI to build your application. So I hope this answers the question on what are the various models and how to compare those. Yes, then I see there are more questions related to the credits and billing ID.
So, any questions about the credits or point system, you can email them to us on the support query. It's in the comments. It's GenAI Exchange support at hack2skill.com. So, we'll be happy to take your queries from there. You can see the email ID on your screen as well. If there are any other questions for Harsh, you can please feel free to ask them in the comments. Great. All right. So, one thing I would like to reiterate is that the point system has changed a little. So, what you have to do now is you have to register for the program. Once you register, you have to submit the skill boost profile link, and then you have to complete those two courses, which are prompt design in Vertex AI and build real world applications using Gemini and Imagine. So these two courses are like, you don't require any credits to take these two courses. So we encourage you to take these two courses first. Once you complete these courses and you submit their skill badges on the dashboard, like I showed you in the beginning, only then will we be able to give you the credits. It will take around 8 to 10 days for the credits to come after you submit your skill badges. So please make sure that you definitely share your link with us, otherwise you will not get the credits. And if you have not joined our Discord channel yet, we are posting the link in the comment section, so you can join from there. Here is the Discord link for you. You can see it on the screen and it's in the comments as well. Great. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email them to us. And yeah, I hope that you had a great time and you learned a lot with this workshop, this masterclass. So thank you so much for joining. Have a great evening. Bye, everyone.